Physiological aspects of growth hormone. Growth hormone secreted by the somatotrophs, which are acidophilic cells of the anterior pituitary. Growth hormone is a secretion of the anterior pituitary. Growth hormone is a peptide hormone, polypeptide hormone with 191 amino acids. Its molecular weight is 21,500. Basal level of growth hormone, that is concentration of the blood in adult, it's 300 milligrams per deciliter, and in children it's up to 500 milligrams per deciliter. Daily output in adults is 0.5 to 1 milligram. Transportation. Growth hormone is transported by binding with GH binding proteins. Growth hormone binding proteins. Half-life and metabolism. Half-life, circulating half-life is about 20 minutes, and it is degraded by, metabolized by the liver and the kidney, and it is excreted in the kidney. Physiological functions of growth hormone. Growth hormone increase the synthesis, as the body need to build. Now building means the skeletal muscle should build, so everything goes and forms as a skeletal muscle. So it increases the synthesis of proteins, that is actin, myosin and all proteins which are present in the myocyte. It increases the synthesis of protein and metabolization of lipids and conversion of carbohydrates, because it uses the fats will be broken down and used as energy, but the proteins, it builds up the body. So growth hormone, as the name says, growth, so it helps in the synthesis of protein. On protein metabolism, growth hormone accelerates the synthesis of proteins by increasing the amino acid transport throughout the cell. The concentration of amino acid in the cell increases and the synthesis of protein is accelerated. Then increasing the RNA translation. For the synthesis of protein, first transcription should occur, then translation should occur. It increases the synthesis of RNA. From RNA, that is the messenger RNA, only the proteins are produced. So increases the synthesis of RNA. Increases the transcription from DNA to RNA. From DNA to, first transcription should occur, then translation occur, then in that process the proteins are synthesized, so transcription also increases, that is from DNA to RNA. Decreasing catabolism of the proteins. Proteins should build up, our body should contain protein so that we are growing. So it decreases the catabolism. Catabolism is nothing but breakdown, so it decreases the catabolism of protein and promotes the anabolism of the protein, that is indirectly it promotes the anabolism of the proteins. The growth hormone increase release of insulin, so that glucose is utilized by the cells, so anabolic effect of the protein. So it promotes anabolism, that is formation of proteins, synthesis of proteins it promotes. Next, on fat metabolism, growth hormone mobilizes the fat from the adipose tissue, so the concentration of fatty acids in the body fluids increases, that in blood and serum and all. So it helps in the utilization of fatty acids for production of energy. Thus proteins are spared, so proteins will be only anabolized, not catabolized. During the utilization of fats for energy production, lots of acetoacetic acid is produced in the liver, because fatty acids for the production, they produce acetoacetic acid and they are released into the body fluids, so we form ketoacidosis. You in case of diabetic mellitus, you can see diabetic ketoacidosis, because diabetes patients, glucose and proteins will be spared. They can't, even the glucose is there, they can't be utilized, so the fatty acids will be produce energy. Their utilization of fatty acids will start producing acetoacetic acid. This leads to ketoacidosis. Sometimes excess mobilization of fats from the adipose tissues cause fatty liver causes, because everything should be metabolized in the liver to produce energy. So all free fatty acids from the adipose tissues start migrating into the liver and start accumulating. The amount of free fatty acids entering into the liver is not leaving the liver, so it starts accumulating in the liver and causes fatty liver. On carbohydrate metabolism, major action of growth hormone on carbohydrates is conversion into the glucose. Its effects on the carbohydrate metabolism, because decrease in the peripheral utilization of glucose for the production of energy, because it is utilizing only free fatty acid. The growth hormone reduces the peripheral utilization of glucose for energy production, because the formation of the acetyl-CoA during the metabolism of fat influenced by growth hormone. Acetyl-CoA inhibits glycolytic pathway. Acetyl-CoA inhibits as acetyl-CoA inhibits the glycolytic pathway, so peripheral utilization of glucose will be reduced. Next, coming to increase in the deposition of the glycogen in the cells, because all the glucose is not utilized by the cells, so glycogen is formed and then they are deposited in the cells. Decrease in the uptake of the glucose by the cells, so glycogen deposition increases, and they get saturated because no more glucose can enter the cell from the blood, because it's already like only concentration gradient is there, only like from higher concentration only it enters into the lower concentration. Lower concentration, higher concentration require energy, so blood glucose level also increases. Glucose as glucose will be start entering into the cell and forming into glycogen and will be depositing, and then it reaches saturation, so no more glucose can enter into the cell. So all glucose will be present in the serum, so it is increases the serum glucose level. A diabetic effect of growth hormone, hypersecretion of growth hormone increases blood glucose level enormously. So it growth hormone analogs we can't give in diabetes patients, and it causes continuous stimulation of beta cells from the islets of Langerhans to increase in the secretion of the insulin, because as there is an overload of glucose in the serum, it starts stimulating beta cells of the pancreas to secrete insulin. And growth hormone stimulates the beta cells directly to cause secretion of the insulin, because excess stimulation of beta cells are burnt out at one stage. This causes deficiency of insulin, as like all the insulin is secreted from the pancreas, like it needs time now to prepare again insulin also. So once of all stimulation, it causes a decrease in the insulin level. So true diabetes mellitus or full-blown diabetes mellitus, this effect of growth hormone is called as a diabetogenic effect. In diabetic patients, this effect is seen when there is a excessive stimulation of beta cells, no more insulin can be produced, again the like a glucose level is peaked up, like it worsens the condition. On bones, during the in embryonic stage, growth hormone is responsible for the differentiation and development of the bones. In later stages, growth hormone helps in the growth of the skeletal muscles. It increases growth in length and thickness of the bone. In bones, growth hormone synthesis and deposition of proteins by chondrocytes. Chondrocytes are the cells of the bone. And osteogenic cells. Chondrocytes are the cells of the cartilage, and osteogenic cells are the cells of the bone. They help in the synthesis and deposition of the proteins. Multiplication of chondrocytes and osteogens enhancing the interstitial calcium absorption. They helps in interstitial calcium absorption, and they helps in the multiplication of chondrocytes and osteocytes, so there will be increase in the length and width also. Formation of new bone cells by converting into chondrocytes and osteogens. Growth hormone increase in the length of the bone until epiphysis fuses. The epiphysis, diaphysis and all, until it fuses with the shaft. It can grow. After that, it can't grow, which occurs at the time of the puberty. After the epiphyseal fusion, the length of the bones can't be increased. So, however, it stimulates the osteoblasts strongly, so that the bone continues to grow in the thickness also. As the length growth we ceased, then it starts growing. Osteoblasts will be forming, so width will be increasing, particularly the membranous bone. Hypersecretion of growth hormone. Before the fusion means it causes gigantism, the length will be more. After the fusion, it causes acromegaly because the width will be more. The hypersecretion of growth hormone, that is, causes two conditions, that is gigantism in children, because before puberty the line of epiphyseal line won't be fused, so it causes increase in the length, so it causes gigantism. After puberty, it causes acromegaly. And mode of action of growth hormone or stomatomedian. Growth hormone acts on bones and helps in growth and protein metabolism through somatomedian secreted by the liver. Liver secretes the somatomedian hormone, which helps in the growth of bones. And growth hormone also stimulates the liver to secrete somatomedian. Sometimes, in spite of the normal secretion of growth hormone, growth is arrested. That condition is known as dwarfism due to the absence or deficiency of stomatocytes. Somatomedian should be there in order that that should be secreted from the liver, or sometimes that is secreted. This somatomedian is a hormone that is secreted by the liver that helps in the metabolism of the protein, and then the protein metabolism should be there, then only their growth will be there. Even though the growth hormones is normal, still there won't be any growth because of absence of this somatostudy or deficiency of this somatomedian. This causes dwarfism. Somatomedian is defined as the substances through which growth hormone acts. So for the action of growth hormone, we need somatomedian. Somatomedian is secreted by the liver. So Deficiency of somatomedian causes dwarfism, which is opposite to gigantism. And it is a polypeptide hormone with a molecular weight 7500. Types of somatomedians. Somatomedians are two types of cells. Insulin-like growth factors, which is also known as somatomedian C, and insulin-like growth factor 2, 1 and 2. Insulin-like growth factor 1, insulin-like growth factor 2. Insulin-like growth factor 1 is also known as somatomedian C. Somatomedian C acts on bone and protein metabolism. Insulin-like growth factor 2 plays a major role in the growth of the fetus. First one will act on the bones and the protein, that means in adults. Then like 2 will act on the fetus. 2-1 reverse, you can remember. Duration of action of growth hormone and somatomedian C is transported by blood by loose binding plasma proteins. They're binding to the loose binding plasma proteins and then released whenever they are required. The action also acts very short duration, only 20 minutes it will be there. Somatomedian C binds to the plasma protein very strongly. Because of this, the molecules of somatostatin reels are released slowly from the plasma protein for a longer duration. So duration of action will be very long because it binds to the plasma protein very strong. Whenever it is required, it is released very slowly, so the duration of action will be prolonged. Growth hormone receptors. Growth hormone receptors, GH receptor, GHS, they're also known as growth hormone secretolog. It is a transmembrane receptor belonging to the cytokine receptor family. Transmembrane means across the membrane, it will be entire length of the membrane. Growth hormone binds to the receptor situated on the liver cells and forms a hormone receptor complex. Hormone receptor complex induces various intracellular enzyme pathway resulting in the somatomedian secretion. Somatomedian will be secreted from the liver, as I already told. Growth hormone secretion is stimulated by conditions which increases the growth hormone stimulation. That is hypoglycemia, when the blood glucose level will be less. It stimulates the growth hormone, so that I told now glucose will be glucose will be present in the growth hormone stimulates the increase of glucose level in the serum, and it starts accumulating in the liver, forming glycogen. As saturation, it forms saturation, so again it can't enter into the cell, it will be again present in the blood only, and then the serum glucose level will be increased. This I told. So in case of hypoglycemia, where glucose we need if in the serum, growth hormone is secreted. In fasting, growth hormone is secreted so that it can metabolize the fats. I told it helps in the metabolization of fat. In starvation also, fats should be metabolized. So in starvation, glucose won't be available. That is hypoglycemic condition only, it comes under hypoglycemia only. Fasting also comes under hypoglycemia. Exercise also, you need more energy, that also comes under, like when you eat food also, still that won't be sufficient. So exercise also comes under this only. Stress, trauma, in stress condition also, you'll be moving your hands, hands, legs and all, no, you need more energy. So that also comes under like hypoglycemic condition only. Stress, trauma, and initial stages of sleep, all these conditions will increase the secretion of growth hormone, and the growth hormone is inhibited by these are the factors which decrease the growth hormone. Opposite to that hyperglycemia, increase in free fatty acids in the blood. Already free fatty acid there. For free fatty acid metabolism only, fat metabolism only, growth hormone is required. Already free fatty acids are there in blood. And later stages of the initial stages, it stimulates growth hormone secretion, and later stages of sleep, it inhibits the growth hormone secretion. Role of hypothalamus in growth hormone secretion. Hypothalamus regulates growth hormone secretion via 3 hormones, that is gonadotropin releasing hormone, growth hormone releasing hormone. It increases the secretion by stimulating the somatotropes. I told growth hormone is secreted by the acidophils, or also known as somatotropes from the anterior pituitary. These cells, the acidophils, are stimulated by growth hormone releasing hormone from the hypothalamus. This growth hormone releasing hormone secreted from the hypothalamus, which goes and stimulates the acidophils of the anterior pituitary, so that growth hormone is secreted. Then growth hormone releasing peptide. It increases the release of growth hormone from the releasing hormone from the hypothalamus, which in turn act on the anterior pituitary to release the growth hormone. This is the growth hormone releasing peptide. And growth hormone inhibitory hormone, that is somatostatin, which decreases the growth hormone secretion, is secreted by the somatostatin is secreted by the delta cells of the islets of Langerhans of the pancreas. That is somatostatin. You know, alpha cells will secrete glucagon, beta cells will secrete insulin, and delta cells of Langerhans of islet cells from the pancreas secrete somatostatin. Somatostatin, which inhibits the growth hormone release from the anterior pituitary. This flow chart you can write so that you score good marks. That is, like whatever you're writing in the physiology, you need to concise that into the flow charts and then diagrams so that you get more marks. Even if you're writing physiology, like biochemistry or anatomy diagrams, most important. The hypoglycemia, I told na, when glucose level is less. And fasting also comes under hypoglycemia. Starvation also comes under hypoglycemia. Where you're doing more exercise, you require more glucose will be like reducing in the blood, so that also comes under hypoglycemia only. In stress also you'll be moving, more movements will be doing. And in trauma, all these conditions stimulates the hypothalamus to secrete growth hormone releasing hormone goes and stimulates the anterior pituitary to secrete growth hormone again they acts on the livers and other tissues. Liver also secretes somatomedin, which helps in the utilization of the growth hormone. And growth hormone releasing peptide, which stimulates the anterior pituitary again to release the growth hormone. And so the growth hormone, inhibitory hormone, will inhibit the secretion of the this like dotted lines indicates the inhibition, and the straight like dark line indicates the stimulation. This growth hormone, inhibiting hormone, inhibits the anterior pituitary to secrete the growth hormone. Again growth hormone excess secretion will goes and inhibits the hypothalamus. It can inhibit hypothalamus, or it can inhibit anterior pituitary to decrease secretion of growth hormone releasing hormone or growth hormone. Growth hormone itself from the anterior pituitary, it can go and inhibit anyway. There are two terms, long loop inhibition and short loop inhibition, that I'll be teaching you in the other thing. Thank you.